In recent years, a number of mysterious images have surfaced online, images that some believe were never meant to be seen by the public. These photos appear to show strange objects, impossible structures, and unexplained phenomena captured in space. Many claim they were taken by NASA missions, but for some reason, never released through official channels. Some were said to have been leaked by insiders. Others mysteriously disappeared from archives. Are these simply misinterpretations, or is there something more? Something we weren't supposed to see? Let's take a closer look at some of the most puzzling space photos that NASA may have tried to keep from us. Apollo 20 and the alien spaceship. One of the most controversial images claimed to be leaked from NASA comes from the so-called Apollo 20 mission. Officially, this mission never happened. But according to conspiracy theories, it was a secret joint operation between the United States and the Soviet Union in 1976. A series of photos and videos surfaced online in the early 2000s, allegedly taken during that mission. They show what appears to be an enormous, cigar-shaped spacecraft partially buried on the moon's surface. The object looks ancient, damaged, and unlike anything known to modern technology. Even stranger, one video claims to show the body of a female humanoid being, nicknamed Mona Lisa, inside the spacecraft. The footage is blurry and hard to verify, but it sparked global speculation. NASA has never acknowledged the mission. To this day, no one has definitively proven whether the photos are real or part of one of the biggest hoaxes in space history. STS-75 Tether Incident. In 1996, during the STS-75 Space Shuttle mission, NASA attempted a high-voltage tether experiment in orbit. The tether, a long, glowing cable, unexpectedly snapped and began drifting through space. But what the cameras captured next was far more shocking. Dozens, some say hundreds, of disc-shaped objects began appearing around the broken tether. They seemed to move with intelligence, maintaining formation and pulsing with strange lights. The footage was broadcast live, but then quietly archived. NASA explained the objects as space debris and ice particles, but to this day, many believe the incident showed actual unidentified flying objects in Earth's orbit, observing the mission up close. The so-called Tether Incident remains one of the most debated and mysterious videos ever recorded in space. The Moon Pyramid. In 2023, a strange image began circulating on social media. It showed what looked like a massive pyramid-like structure on the moon, symmetrical, sharply angled, and eerily similar to the pyramids of Egypt. The image spread quickly, with some claiming it was leaked from NASA's internal database. Others suggested it was found in high-resolution scans from the Lunar Reconnaissance Orbiter, but quietly removed. According to online forums, the structure is said to be located on the moon's far side, an area we never see from Earth. Its precision sparked heated debates. Could this be evidence of ancient builders beyond our planet? Or was it a trick of light and shadow? NASA has made no official comment on the image, and perhaps that silence is what keeps the mystery alive. The moon's mysterious lights. For more than a century, astronomers have reported seeing strange flashes of light on the moon. These events, known as transient lunar phenomena, or TLPs, appear as brief glows, sparks, or color changes on the lunar surface. Some observers captured them through telescopes, others recorded them in photos. In multiple cases, the lights seem to originate from specific craters or the moon's far side. While NASA has documented TLPs in internal reports, they've never offered a clear public explanation. Are these geological reactions, atmospheric reflections, or signs of unknown activity? The mystery deepened when a few high-resolution images showing these flashes were quietly pulled from online databases. For many, that silence spoke volumes. The Mars Hole. In 2011, NASA's Mars Reconnaissance Orbiter captured a high-resolution image of what appeared to be a perfectly round hole in the surface of Mars. The opening was dark, deep, and surrounded by what looked like scorched rock. Scientists initially suggested it could be a skylight into a lava tube, but no further data or images were ever released. The original photo was briefly available on a NASA archive page. Then it was quietly removed. Online researchers managed to save the image and began speculating. Some believed it was an entrance to an underground facility. Others suggested intelligent design. To this day, NASA has never addressed why the photo disappeared, or what exactly the hole might be. A structure on the Moon. Among the older lunar reconnaissance images, one in particular caused a stir online. It appeared to show a large shadow cast at a near-perfect right angle on the Moon's surface. The object creating it was unclear, but the shape of the shadow looked anything but natural. Some suggested it was a tower-like structure or the remains of a vertical construct. Analysts pointed out that natural rock formations rarely produce such symmetrical, straight-edged shadows. Strangely, the original high-resolution version of the image was later removed from public access, and only low-quality copies remain. NASA never addressed the image, and that silence only made the questions louder. What could have created such a precise shadow in one of the most desolate places in the solar system? The SOHO anomalies. ASA's SOHO satellite, designed to observe solar activity, has captured thousands of images of the Sun, but a few of them sparked intense speculation. In several frames, massive, symmetrical objects appear hovering near the Sun, some shaped like cylinders, others like structured crafts. Skeptics say these are camera glitches or cosmic ray interference, but believers argue the objects appear too defined, too geometric, to be random errors. In certain cases, the images were quietly removed from NASA's public gallery or their file names altered. No official explanation has ever been provided. To this day, these SOHO anomalies fuel theories that something, possibly not of this Earth, is watching our Sun up close. The face on Mars. One of the most iconic and controversial space photos ever taken came from NASA's Viking 1 mission in 1976. While orbiting Mars, the spacecraft captured an image of what looked like a human face, carved into the surface of the planet. The formation, located in a region called Cydonia, sparked intense public interest and even inspired books, documentaries, and conspiracy theories. NASA initially downplayed the image, suggesting it was just a play of light and shadows. But people weren't convinced. After all, the structure had a nose, eyes, a mouth, and a distinct forehead, too symmetrical to be random. Years later, when higher-resolution cameras were sent to Mars, new images of the same region were released. These appeared to show a much flatter, less defined formation. However, critics pointed out that the lighting, angle, and contrast were different, making comparisons difficult. They also noted that many of the high-definition photos NASA promised were never released to the public. Some believe NASA deliberately blurred or withheld the clearest images of the face on Mars to avoid reigniting public speculation. Was it just a rocky hill, or something left behind by intelligent life? The hidden chemistry of Enceladus. In 2015, NASA's Cassini spacecraft made a groundbreaking discovery. Jets of water vapor were erupting from Saturn's icy moon, Enceladus. Inside these plumes, scientists detected organic molecules, ingredients necessary for life. NASA announced the findings but kept many of the raw data files under wraps. Researchers outside the agency began to question why some spectrometer readings were omitted from the public database. Even more curious, several papers that referenced this missing data were quietly withdrawn or delayed. Some believe the withheld data showed evidence of amino acids or even microbial signatures, potential signs of life in the Moon's subsurface ocean. If true, this would be one of the most significant discoveries in history. So why the silence? Was NASA trying to verify results before sparking global headlines, or avoiding panic altogether? The lunar dome theory. For decades, some researchers have pointed to unusual light reflections and lens flares in early NASA photos of the Moon. These distortions don't match typical camera artifacts. Instead, they seem to show curved lines and repeated patterns, as if something transparent and dome-like is hovering over the lunar surface. This led to what became known as the lunar dome theory. The idea suggests that parts of the Moon may be covered by massive ancient glass-like structures, possibly remnants of an alien civilization or forgotten human technology. Photos that supported the theory were reportedly removed or replaced with edited versions in later archives. NASA never addressed the claims directly, dismissing them as optical illusions. But if these anomalies weren't just tricks of light, what could they be? Why do some believe they reveal hidden architecture right above our heads? The Hubble pointed at Earth. The Hubble Space Telescope is famous for its breathtaking deep space images, but rumors persist that on rare occasions, Hubble was turned back toward Earth, not to photograph cities or clouds, but to observe something else. According to insiders, at least one classified operation involved using Hubble to capture high-resolution images of unknown objects in near-Earth orbit. The photos were reportedly never released, and all logs related to the event were either missing or redacted. Several amateur astronomers noticed brief shutdown periods in Hubble's tracking logs, times when the telescope wasn't looking at stars, but where it was looking wasn't explained. Was Hubble used to observe something NASA couldn't identify? Something they weren't prepared to discuss? What it saw remains unknown. The unreleased James Webb image. The Apollo 11 moon landing in 1969 was one of the most watched events in human history, but even during the live broadcast, there were moments of confusion. Brief blackouts, missing audio, and unexplained silence. Years later, researchers digging through NASA's archived footage discovered something more puzzling. Several seconds of the original moonwalk video were missing from all known copies. In those lost frames, there are claims that a strange object appeared in the distance, something upright, metallic, and not part of the landing module. NASA has never confirmed the existence of those missing frames. Some believe they were cut deliberately to prevent mass panic. Others say it was just technical error. Still, the fact that we don't have the full, uncut footage of humanity's greatest moment continues to raise questions. What exactly was removed from history's most important video? The unreleased James Webb image. The James Webb Space Telescope is the most powerful observatory ever built. Since its launch, it has delivered stunning images of deep space, distant galaxies, exoplanets, and star-forming regions. But according to several online leaks, at least one image captured something that was never published. Webb recorded an unusual formation in a distant star system, a symmetrical object blocking starlight in a precise, artificial-looking pattern. Some said it resembled the outline of a Dyson sphere, a hypothetical megastructure built to harness a star's energy. The leaked image was allegedly uploaded briefly to a public NASA server before being deleted. Those who saw it described it as too perfect to be natural. NASA made no comment, and no official trace of the file remains. Was it a glitch, a misreading, or did Webb capture something humanity isn't ready to process? The disappearing signal. In 2019, a team of NASA-affiliated scientists reportedly received an unusual deep space transmission, an ultra-narrowband radio signal that appeared artificial in origin. The event was logged in a brief technical paper but never officially addressed by the agency. What raised eyebrows was not just the signal itself, but the accompanying spectrum analysis images that were reportedly included in early internal reports. These images showed clean, repeated frequency spikes, a pattern rarely seen in nature. Shortly after the signal was detected, NASA's internal documentation referencing it was either retracted or went missing from public databases. Independent researchers who claim to have seen the original spectrum images say they were too structured to be random. NASA never confirmed the signal's existence, nor the images, and just like that, the event vanished. The Lost Voyager sounds. The Voyager 1 spacecraft, launched in 1977, has traveled farther than any man-made object in history. Along the way, it recorded various space phenomena: plasma waves, magnetic fields, and radio emissions. Some of these signals were converted into haunting audio clips and shared publicly by NASA. But according to insiders and audio analysts, not all the sounds were made public. Allegedly, a set of recordings captured by Voyager in the outer heliosphere contained rhythmic, highly structured patterns, unlike any natural space noise previously documented. These clips were said to be analyzed internally, then quietly archived without explanation. Some of the analysts who worked on the project described the sounds as mechanical, even intelligent. But the files vanished. No public access. No mention in official NASA repositories. What exactly did Voyager hear billions of miles from Earth? And why did NASA choose not to let us hear it? We may never know the full truth behind these images. Were they simple errors, misinterpretations, or glimpses of something far beyond our understanding? NASA remains silent on many of these cases, and maybe that silence says more than any official statement ever could. Because sometimes the most terrifying things aren't what we see in space, but what they choose not to show us.